right, welcome to this week's Q&A. Here's a question for you. Is now a good time to be in real estate, specifically creative real estate, as we call real estate on your terms? Here's why I ask that. I know the media's screaming, depending on when you're watching this, and they usually are screaming anyway, but they're screaming that now's not a good time to be in real estate. Well, maybe not conventional for the buyers that thought they could buy at 3% or 4% interest rates, and now they're looking at, something north of that. And I know that when you have all that bombarding you, we all have fears. We all have fears that are usually provoked by that. I suggest you don't let other people's fears become yours. I invite you to be totally open, not just during this video, but be totally open always. Open to what? Open to learning, open to questioning. We have weekly Q&A. You could come to our live Wicked Smart sit-downs every Thursday. Open to networking when we have our live event. Just open. Now, here's why I say that. I don't skydive, and I actually have no desire to, but I know this. If I was to jump out of a plane and my parachute was closed, wasn't open, I'd probably splat, right? I wouldn't have a successful time. I would not have fun. Your mind is the same way. So I invite you to be open, at least for this video, and then ongoing. Wipe the slate clean. Creative real estate allows you to operate in any market, period. So if the media is screaming that now's not a good time, celebrate it. If the media is screaming that now is a good time, celebrate it. If the market's flat, celebrate it. So here's the question for you. How would you like to double your income this year? And I'm just using that for a marker for you. It could be create an amazing lifestyle or create an amazing experience, whatever it might be. And then a gut check is, why haven't you done it yet? So I'm not here to promise you can, but I'm just getting you thinking, why haven't you done that yet? This is not rocket science. What we go over in creative real estate is not rocket science. It's also not easy, but it's learnable. And it's simple, and it's proven, and it's predictable once you get to that point. Now, you doubling your lifestyle, or you doubling your income, or you whatever your big goal is, there's a point where you are right now today as you watch this video, and there's a point where you want to be, and I just use the doubling of the income as an example. Well, there's a gap here, right? And I want to talk about what Tony Robbins calls the tyranny of how, because I know a lot of us will go, okay, I get it, I'm here, and yeah, I'd love to do those 3 payday deals you talk about, Chris, because they're 100 grand or 40 grand or 200 grand. They're big deals. But then we get caught in the tyranny of how. Oh, I don't know how, but, and I get caught up in all that. Don't think about that right now. I will tell you, we just have to figure out where your biggest bottleneck is, where your gap is, where your constraint is between now and where you want to go. And I'll tell you just historically, the number one constraint for most people is distractions. That's the number one. So if we know the number one constraint usually, generally speaking, is distractions, I'll tell you what that screams loudly to me. It's usually a skill set or a self-discipline. Now, if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, you could be watching as a Q&A or a deal structure, doesn't matter. It's really falling more into the skill set arena. And when I say that, we teach 3 different pillars, so to speak, when I said arena. And that is part of our genius model where we teach skill set, sure. We teach mindset and we teach systems. You're probably, again, in the skill set category today. And maybe a teeny bit of mindset, because when I talk to you about the things I'm talking about today, I hope that empowers you in some shape, form, or fashion. So that is working on your mindset a little bit. But know this, no one is luckier than you that you see at our events or that you see on these videos here on the YouTube channel. No one's better than you that you see on the channel, on the stories that we have, or on the live events. They just decided. That's it. Remember, they don't worry about the how. They don't get caught in the tyranny of how. They just decided, I'm here today, I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to let this be the vehicle, the 3 paydays, the Wicked Smart community. So I would invite you to hang out with us for the next 1 to 3 years. It usually takes 3 to 7 to build a monster business in any industry, but let's just say hang out with us for 1 to 3 years, and we'll get you through all of the pieces of the genius model, the skill set, the systems, the mindset, because it does take all of that. So if you're on this particular video or the series of videos today and you're working on skill set, know that it takes a whole bunch more than just that. I'm just giving you some exposure to that today. And people say, wow, come on, Chris, 3 years or 7 years. Yes, you're going to see how, if you look at just our deal structures on this YouTube channel, if you look at just the deal structures, you're going to see how you could potentially, and again, I don't know you, so I'm not guaranteeing anything. Your experience will be your experience. But I will tell you that you have the potential to create decades of income from the 3 payday system once you learn it. So is it worth it if you knew you couldn't fail? So I invite you to just do all these gut checks. Like, say to yourself, well, what if it was easy? What if I could learn that? What if I could do the 3 paydays? we're going to give you an opportunity on any one of these videos or any one of the live events and any one of the weekly Wicked Smart sit-downs on Thursdays. We're going to give you a chance to fast forward through the Genius model and fast forward your ability and your skill set to create 3 paydays. And hopefully, you'll also be part of the official Wicked Smart community where you can participate in weekly mastermind calls and monthly mastermind calls and attend all the events for free. Like that, you just immerse yourself in the community. But for now, especially if you're new to the channel, understand that when you see deals here or anywhere that we do them and we expose them, the students here had and still have lots of help. And it's not just us and the coaches, it's the community in general. And I love the quote, and I forget what book it was in, but it said, if you see a turtle on top of a fence post, it certainly had help getting there. So when you see these people highlighted, they didn't do it overnight. Some of them took a year to do their first deal. We do, and I do, use language in all these videos, sort of assumptively. There's a lot of vernacular in our community. There's a lot of trademark things. And we do that, we talk as if you've already completed the QLS Home Study Program. So if you haven't done that, I invite you to find that on smartrealestatecoach.com. It's the QLS Home Study Program. And immerse yourself in that because it's not a course that you take once. It's a learning platform online that is constantly changing, evolving. It's a living, breathing thing. Our best students doing deals regularly still use that as their resource center. And once you go through the QLS Home Study course, you are a member. You can become a member, certified member, or accredited if you become an associate of the Creative Financing Real Estate Association. You can check that out at CFREA, so CFREA, CFREA.org. And I will tell you what happens at the end of this whole process. You go through the home study course, you get certified or accredited, and the end result is you're going to know about 95% of most investors out there. And I've been at many RIAs and spoke to many people who have been in the business 20 years sitting in the audience saying, geez, I never heard that. No one's ever done it like this. Things of that nature come up. So I want to get you to the point where you're comfortable, you're more competent than your competition, you're more confident than your competition. And I want to go back to one more thing about the market. And again, I'm going to reference Tony Robbins because he talks a lot about this. Real estate cycles are good, not bad, especially, like I said in the earlier part of this video, when you know how to pivot no matter what the market's doing. Before COVID, during COVID, after COVID, we knew how to pivot and where the deals were going to be easier or more difficult. So the cycles are good, not bad. And they're expected, by the way, not unexpected. There's one constant in real estate. The market's constantly changing. And we're going to get you comfortable with being good and being able to pivot in all markets. Now, that's what actually brought me, if you know my story, and if you don't, I'm going to give you a chance to get the free book. That's what brought me to creative real estate. And it provoked me to write Real Estate on Your Terms. And actually, let me give you that link right now so I don't forget. Because after the crash of 2008, I was fed up with not just not being able to pivot in any market, but also being fed up with just having one payday, one deal, one payday, one deal, one transaction. Felt like I was on a treadmill. I want to get you operating in any market and be able to create wealth short and long term. To grab the book, go to wickedsmartbooks.com/YouTube. You don't have to pay a dime. You don't have to pay a shipping. A lot of free offers say, get my free book, and then you go on, you have to put your credit card in for shipping. wickedsmartbooks.com/YouTube. You'll get a free shipment. Let's talk about cycles a little bit before we wrap up. Cycles create wealth if you're in real estate. So I've said that in several different ways today. It doesn't matter what the market is doing. It doesn't matter where you are geographically once you understand how to creatively structure deals. Now, if you don't know how to, it's okay. If you're brand new, you will by the end of the QLS Home Study course. So let's lock arms together and continue to help buyers and sellers via this creative financing vehicle and create super strong times for all of us and our families as we help all buyers and sellers all over the country.